Welcome back to episode 5 of the Gemini Carp League. If you haven't tuned in before, really easy concept. It's where me and Liam are going head to head over 6 sessions, 6 different venues, with the chance to win £1,500 put up by Gemini Carp Tackle. The person with the most cumulative weight by the end of the year will win £1,000 in cash. But not only that, Gemini have kindly put up a big fish bounty. Whoever catches the biggest fish is going to get £500. A little roll we threw in there hasn't happened yet, thankfully, but if one of us catches a bream, weight of that said bream will be deducted off our totals at the end of the year. Let's head over to Liam to show you where we're fishing this weekend.
We've made the trip down to the Cotswolds on this session. We're fishing Horcott Lakes on the main lake. We've already done a couple of laps and we have chose the 2 swims that we're going to be in. But as you know, it was Pete's choice this session. He's decided to go in peg 16 on the point and I'm just off the side of the point in peg 17. But I'm going to let Pete explain to you why he chose peg 16 this session.
So this session I have chose peg 16, and if you can see behind me now, the reason is it demands a lot more water than peg 17. And down there it's a lot more comfortable to get the rod when it goes off, if it does. However, Liam's probably down a hill to get to his rod, so yeah, main reasons, demands more water and it's a bit more comfortable. We have seen a lot more fish on the Liam side of the lake, so our right, in front of like the beach pegs, I think they're called, on pegs 22 and 23, and they're holding up in the weed. But if someone does turn up, Liam won't be able to go for those, so it'll be limited. However, if we haven't anything through the night or in the morning and no one is over there, I'm going to take the opportunity to go stalking and try and get them off the surface. But we're going to head to Liam now and we're going to see what he's going to do for this session.
Which means for me, it's peg 17 this session. As Pete said, the bulk of the fish, well, all of the fish to be honest that we saw this session have been down my right hand side. Unfortunately, it's not actually my water, but for now, there's nobody fishing to the right of me, so I think it might be a case of me trying to take advantage of that, because as the weekend comes, there's every chance that it'll get busier down there and that water will be cut off for me. So I think he's probably made the right decision in the long run, but hopefully I can get a couple of fish early doors and extend that lead even further.
So tactics, as you know, that's tomorrow, day 2, where we go a bit more in depth on what we're doing. But briefly, Liam started with 3 solid bags. I've started with 2 solid bags and a Ronnie rig. We spent a fair amount of time trying to find a spot here at Horcott Lakes, because if you have fished it, you'll know it's quite weedy and you've got to be patient and get those right spots. So we found some spots we're happy with. We've got our rods and bait on them. We've trickled in a little bit of bait over the top. But for now, thankfully, we don't have to get the cooker out, because we've got a local friend who's visiting us and he's bringing us a chip shop tea. So we're going to wait for him to arrive, get ourselves into a bit of a chip shop and a chill. The weather's starting to settle down now, conditions are starting to prime up a little bit. We have had a couple of strung liners, potentially some tench, where the bobbins have just shot to the top and then dropped back down.
Right, and so we've had a nice little social with my friend Dava, who don't live too far away. I've been stung in the lip by a wasp out of my can of cider. Worst pain I've ever felt, and I've had quite a lot of tattoos. I'm just going to fire some boilies out there now, try and top the spot up for the night and hopefully get into some of these absolute stunners that reside in this lake. So that's the end of the first day. The darkness has officially rolled in. No action on the fishing front as yet, to be expected. The first day is always hectic. But as always, we'll run through tactics more in depth, the talk on the lake and everything else tomorrow. So that'll be it for us now. Camera's going away, unless of course we get a fish in the night.
Good morning, it's Friday and it's the first official morning of the trip. Unfortunately, no fish to report for last night. I've seen a few people walking me on the bivvy this morning. I can see a few people on pegs that weren't here yesterday. They're starting to lead about, so that could help us move the fish about. But yeah, sadly no fish. I didn't think we were going to come here and tear it up anyway. I've reached out to a few people online on Instagram and stuff to see if there's any tips or what to expect, and people were saying, oh, it's not somewhere you go and catch a lot of fish. So that could suit me this session, as I'm a bit behind Liam now. So if I could just get a couple of fish up on him this session, going into that last session, it'd be much more bearable. So I'm just going to pull the rig box out now, set out in this lovely weather, knock up some rigs, ready for the session ahead. Finished tying up all those solid bags, tied up 6 ready for today and tonight. Probably going to be more so for tonight as it's absolutely scorching, and I don't think being 20 wraps out is going to be productive at all. I think they're going to be high in the water or in the margins. Just to my right here is a bit of a beach swim. It's not very deep at all, so I'm just going to gamble. I'm going to put a solid bag in there. It's about 2 foot of water, and I think other than a zig and surface fishing, I think this is the only way I'm really going to catch them in weather like this. So yeah, solid bag in the margin, go up to Liam, catch up with him and see what we're going to do for the rest of today. So we decided to do the lap of the lake because we can't see any fish in our swim, and with this weather and temperature you usually see them cruising about, you can see where they are, but we haven't really seen that. So we're going to do the lap of the lake, have a look in every crevice we can find, see if we can find them holding up somewhere, because it's a bit bizarre that we haven't seen any yet. Off on a little adventure. So when I walked around the lake, started speaking to all of the other anglers. No one's caught anything yet. On the way around we did bump into a local lad who's just turned up, picked his brains a little bit, saying, you know, what we're doing in peg 16, 17, and we're looking for anything specific. He said it weren't the best pegs since the underwater filming, but he did give us a couple of hints and tips to go at. So yeah, I feel a bit more confident now, more positive, as we asked him about not being able to see any fish, and he says yeah, he says they don't really show too much in here. But he also said that he only really turns up and fishes the night. So again, just makes you feel a little bit better when you ain't catching in the day if someone's just turning up to fish the evenings and through the night. So we're going to get back into the swim now, armour up with some rigs, and get ready for tonight, and hopefully we can make it work. So we're back in the swim now after that big lap of the lake. My tactics of choice going into tonight is going to be 2 solid bags on that spot, using the Gemini Carp Tackle's tidy stems, as always, quick, easy and effective. Tidy stem itself's got a 45-pound breaking strain and a fluorocarbon insert, making it nice and safe for the fish. You can either tie them onto your main line or loop them on. This session I'm tying them on because this is a venue where it's rig tubing only, so I'm using the Gemini Carp Tackle's rig tubing kit for the tidy stem. So I'm tying them on and I'm pushing the rig tubing right down, so I've got tubing all the way through. Simple rig, supernatural braid so it fits in the bag, moulds around the pellets. Standard hair rig, nothing too tasty, but then I've got an RH Baits pink wafter. This will be filled with pellet, just like this one here, and I will have 2 of these on that spot at 24 wraps. Nice clear area. Hopefully, I'm not going to put any baits out there over the top like I have on the other spot, so I'm just going to put 2 of these on the spot. Fingers crossed it can nick me a fish.
We've taken refuge from the sun now in some nice shaded area behind my bivvy. What are your thoughts and feelings for today, apart from it being absolutely scorching?
I know we've said it a couple of times now, but it's probably the hottest fishing session I've had in a few years. I haven't seen even many cruising about, to be honest, but there is a bit of a chop on the water pushing in this way.
Yeah, well, my main spot, it's only wide enough to fit 1 rod on. From front to back it's quite big, but the width of it I can only get 1 rod on it, and that's at 13 3/4 in about 4.5 foot of depth. So again, it's not deep. I do think there's a chance they'll get down on it. There's put a bit of bait on there, so.
But yeah, I think we're just going to have another couple of hours trying to sit in the shade, drink some plenty of water.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be more so this session, getting the rods ready, going into the night.
I definitely think it's going to be a case of trying to nick a fish. I don't think there's going to be nothing prolific about this session. 1 or 2 more fish for me over this session and the next session. I've got it wrapped up.
Don't know. I think
That's where I'm at.
I think there's going to be some magic happening at the monument. I think I'm onto a haul.
We'll see.
Swans of doom. Constantly have to be on swan watch here because it's that shallow down here. You can't even sink your lines properly, and it takes about 6 wraps to get your lines down. And the swans like to come past and cause havoc. So yeah, I'm on swan watch. Water's down apparently like by a lot. I mean, I think it usually is up here, but yeah, we're actually down into the lake. Like I say, it's hard to drop your lines all the way out there, and I don't really want to backlead if I can help it. Yeah, just put one of his rods out. Hopefully he's missed the weed bed so he can sink his line. But yeah, one of the toughest sessions I've had since I can remember, with the conditions, the heat. It's quite a difficult lake at the best of times, never mind in these conditions, and it's hard to stay positive or get motivated as such. I think as far as the Gemini Carp League goes, this is a win for Liam. This sort of session is probably what Liam needed, really. A stale session with no fish caught. Still time though. Still time.
I'd rather I'd have caught 3 or 4 and wrapped it up, but definitely advantage me if it remains like this.
It's been a tough session so far, ain't it, to stay like motivated, and I don't know, it's just the swans are back again. I'm back on swan watch.
I've just scaled down Mount Everest because I've got a little bit of an opening in the weed in my right hand margin, and we saw a little bit of fish activity there today. Not fully convinced it's carp, it may well be tench, but that's all I've got to go off at the minute, so I'm going to deploy a solid bag using the Gemini tidy stem into that little opening in the weed, and hopefully it presents. I've got full confidence it will. It's a bit of an awkward cast. I don't really know how's best to do it, but we'll give it a go. The second rod going back out on the spot, I'm going to persevere with the one I put bait on yesterday. 13 3/4 wraps. Lovely.
Oh, that's one thing I do want to invest in soon, is a good call box, because
Yeah, cold beers.
it's I don't even mild, is
Yeah,
it?
this is like.
But just check for wasps.
Oh, just literally what I was going to do, just in case, you never know. Can't get it open. You've just handed me that and I don't trust you. Shook it up before you get it, mate.
Alright, good luck.
Cheers, hopefully our fortunes change. The rods are all out for the evening.
I feel like a defeated man at fishing at the moment, but it'll only take, you know, one alarm and one fish to change my mood. Any ducks?
No ducks. Bobbins right the way up. That's Summit. Summit's gone through the line.
Like a strong line in the weed.
Pulled it up and
Oh well, just as we thought our luck was changing.
a false alarm. That would have been perfect timing, wouldn't it? That would have been exactly what we needed, just as we said, but...
I mean, now, Now the sun's like kind of at the back and it's not above us. This has got a nice setting.
Oh, I mean, this is fishy conditions now. It's obviously fishing tricky, but we've got our rods in the water, we're primed, we're ready to go. If they turn up, I'm confident that what we're doing will produce a fish.
And it did say between the hours of like 9 tonight and was it like 7 in the morning or something?
Like that. He said he doesn't fish the daytime, so.
Like I say, just hearing that alarm once and having a fish on the bank and flip a session, so let's hope that happens. If you touch it, mate, I'm going home. Calling the session short.
It only takes a minute, doesn't it? And it could all change.
But we're just going to pull the chairs up to the lake now, finish our beers and ciders and pray that we get a carp.
That's it. So the circus over the back of us has started again. We've got some, sounds like country music. It's quite nice actually. Try and get the spirits up a little bit because we are struggling. But yeah, we're about 9 o'clock now on the second night. Nothing to report, but got to try and keep those confidence levels up because if we don't, it could turn into a really, really bad session.
Church bells going off again.
Yeah, church bells going off in the distance as well.
The caravan park kicking off.
If we had a bingo card for a fishing session from hell, we'd have probably got a full house by now.
The caravan park proper kicking off now. We've got some folk music kicking in.
We thought it was bad last night, going till 3 o'clock on a Thursday evening. It's Friday night now, so we're expecting a.
Wonder what Saturday night's going to be like.
We're expecting a proper
I'll be reeling in and joining away. Pete, get back over here.
But yeah, we're going to do a nightly update a little bit later. Hopefully we can bring you a fish before then. We've not really saw any signs that give us an inkling that that might happen, but like I say, we've got to stay focused and hopeful, haven't we? So yeah, log off for a little bit now. We'll be back to you with a nightly update, or hopefully holding up a big fat carp.
Fingers crossed.
So night time has fully come now. That's going to be it for the night. We're going to get our heads down early because neither of us got a very good sleep last night. So we're going to log off, praying to the carpy gods that one of those rods go through the night. But if not, as always, we'll see you in the morning.
Good morning. It is now Saturday. Again, unfortunately, no fish to report throughout the night. Confidence is just getting lower and lower throughout the session. But I woke up this morning and it is overcast, and it looks like it's going to be overcast for the next few hours. So this is the best settings we've had since we've been here. So I am a little bit more hopeful this morning. But the sun does come back in this afternoon. I think on the app it says about 11 or 12. That's when we get full sun again, and then the heat. So my plan of action is I'm going to leave the rods in until it gets warm and hot again this afternoon, and when that happens I'm going to go back to my original spot, 20 wraps out straight out in the clear spot, and I'm going to pile some bait in. I'm going to spawn throughout the day here and there, and then top it up just before the night, because I can speak to some anglers on here and there's quite a lot of rudd and a little silverfish in here, so I think if you're putting pellets out, it won't be a few hours before it's probably all gone. So yeah, plan of action is leave them in until it gets hot. Once it gets hot, double check, have another lead about, make sure that spot is clean. I'm going to put the grappling lead on just to be 100% certain, get the grappling lead on it, feel it back, and if it's as clean as I'm hoping and as I think it is, I'm going to pile some bait on it and put a couple of rods on it for tonight as a last chance effort. But yeah, throughout this morning, the overcast, the rods will be staying in. Go and wake Liam up now, probably have something to eat, and I'll pick Liam's brains, see what he's going to be doing throughout today.
For me, I'm not going to change anything. I've not caught yet, but nobody else on the lake has either. There's not enough signs to go at for me to stick the bait in, so I think it's going to be a case of just a solid bag in the right place at the right time. May well just trip one of these fish up, so I'm going to change nothing. I will bring my rods in once this nice overcast spell goes, as Pete has, and then I'll reset them again later on in the afternoon, but nothing's going to change. 3 solid bags, and just hope that I can slip one of these tricky Horcott Lake fish up.
So just going to touch on a little bit of information about Horcott Lakes here in the Cotswolds. It's the first time fishing it, so can't really give you an in-depth feel about the lake, but I can relay to you what I've done a bit of research and what I've seen on the website, just in case you haven't looked and you might be interested. It's 45 swims here on a 22-acre lake. It's obviously based in the Cotswolds. There's a stock of at least 800 fish in here. The website says there's 50 30s. And I heard a little rumour yesterday in the car park, someone said 940s, but don't quote me on that. I know there's quite a few 40s looking through the pictures, but what I will say is the stock here are stunning. They have got some good strains here. The lake's down at the moment. I'm actually currently sitting in the lake. It's down by about 3 foot, which you'd think, oh, that'd make the fishing a bit easier, but I still haven't heard an alarm. A couple of fish off this week. But yeah, it's an old mature gravel pit. Like I said, there's weed, quite a bit of weed everywhere, so be prepared to bring a marker rod and find some spots. Booking onto this lake, I believe they use Gold Catch. You could book in advance, but you can't book a peg. It's done on watercraft on arrival. So if you do have a peg in mind or an area of the lake you want to go because of the wind, etc., I'd advise getting here. I think it's 11:30 you can arrive and walk round, and sessions start at 1. And if we could just trip 1 up, that would complete my session. So still nothing to report. No one on the lake's caught. Everyone's on a bit of a move now into different pegs trying to find them, but there is still a few pegs down the bottom shallow end of the lake where no one's fishing. So I'm going to go and have half hour just sat down there, see if I can see any fish milling about, and if I can, come back, I'll get a rod and a net and my mat, and I'll see if I can stalk them that way. But fingers crossed, because it is red hot. But the plan tonight is I'm going to spom out 15-20 spoms of worm and pellet over a wrap at 20 wraps a spot that's fairly clear, and I'm going to put 3 rods on it for the night. But for now, with this weather, it's about trying to steal one at the shallows if there's any movement down there. Yeah, time shall tell. Been speaking to people around the lake and no one's caught yet, so it makes me feel a little bit better, but it's still not good, as I still need to catch Liam up. I don't really want to going into the last episode over £100 down. Today I've spent most of my time walking around, speaking to all the other anglers, enjoying the sun. I even popped out into Fairford, had a chip shop, picked up a couple of beers just because it was really hot, and I knew my plan was to come back on like the evening and attack it then. It's started to cool down now. I've just put 20 spoms out of pellet and a little bit of worm. I've left that with no rods in, so resting that. Just got the rods ready, sorry. 2 solid bags and a Ronnie rig. They're going to go all on the same spot where I've just been spomming as a last chance saloon to try and get one on the bank.
I'm just going to get my rods all set up now, wrapped up, ready to go. I'm going to go with 2 on the spot again. Pretty much rinse and repeat what I've done already. But yeah, I'm going to get them wrapped up, ready to go down and use the facilities on site, come back, get them on the spot and get a fish on the bank. Put Pete really far back on that back foot. I know he's shaking, I know he's dreading it.
Yeah, limit catching. So back into my swim where all the action's going to be. This is the confidence swim. 3 rods on the spot, bait bucket to the side. I'm going to top it up just before dark because there's plenty of rudd in here, and I want to make sure there's a better bait out there for the early morning bite. Feeling, yeah, a little bit more confident than I have the last couple of nights, so good sign. Think of a number between 1 to 100, a genuine number, nothing silly. Let me know when you got one. You got it? Mm-hmm. And then after 3 we'll say the number. 1, 2, 3, 67. Oh, I'll tell you what, I was close.
You go 69, it's obvious, isn't it?
No, because I'm not a child.
I put a fair bit of bait over the spot earlier, but I'm just going to keep the spot ticked over now. I'm going to put a couple of spoms out now and then a couple more just before it goes dark. Hopefully, ringing that dinner bell, we'll get these tricky fish's head down onto that bottom and put one on the bank. So we're almost at the end of the very first Gemini Carp League.
Yeah, we're on
one night left here and then one full session.
final night of the 5th episode.
Yep.
Still blanking, both of us.
We have had a little tally up of our totals to this point.
Yeah.
I'm sat on £209 and a few ounces.
Yep.
And you are £88, almost £89.
So £88, eh? So
Yeah.
about £120 difference.
So there's an £120 difference.
That rod really needs to go in the morning.
I think so, but this is what I mean. I think one more fish for me out of either here or Monument wins it. Are you getting to the point yet where you're just focusing on biggest fish?
No, I'll get the biggest fish next session, but I reckon I can get a big hit at Monument.
He's still chasing down that cumulative weight.
I think I'm gonna have a good session at Monument 1.
So say £120, you're probably looking at four 30-pounders.
6 fish, a few 30s, a few 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a very, very, very tall ask.
Nah, I got connections at Monument 1. All right, got a little trick up this sleeve right here.
So have I. I'm gonna get him to bite my up. I'll chuck him a little bit of the money.
Yeah. I'll give him a text after this.
It's already in my pocket at the minute.
No, it's 10 over till. So that whistle goes at the end. The biggest fish I'm going to sort at Monument, and then it's going to be a challenge, but I'm looking forward to it. And hopefully, like I said, I'm still confident in that spot I got. I've had a couple of bleeps not long ago, probably rudd and small fish, but it's a beep. And I reckon early morning, if I could just get one, mid-20, maybe a 30 if I'm lucky.
Oh yeah.
Just to decrease the damage, I think we're having a good old scrap on Monument 1.
One fish this session blows it wide open again for you.
Oh yeah, a 20 plus.
Still a tall ask, but it blows it open. If you can get it
goes
under
from
the £100 mark.
Oh yeah, I think it's still
It blows it back open. But
mark my words, I'm going to have the biggest fish before the end of the series.
I think it's my year. I think I'm going to do the clean sweep. I'll have both.
Well,
I'll take you out for lunch on our way back from Monument.
I decline.
You're going to turn that camera off so we can chill out for the night.
No, I'm just going to leave it rolling. Just leave it on.
So the final night has drawn to a close. We're going to get our heads down now. We're pretty sure somebody over on the opposite bank had one a couple of hours ago, just as darkness drew in. So that's good signs going into the final evening, but my confidence levels really aren't that high. But try and stay positive. We're going to get our heads down now and hopefully we get awoken during the night.
So we're into the last morning. I reckon we've got about half an hour left before we're packing up and getting off. It's just the rods in at the moment. We're going to contact them soon for the delivery service back to the car. A little bit of a crazy night for myself. I think at 2 o'clock I had a couple of beeps on the right rod. Only a few, didn't think nothing of it, went back to sleep. 4 o'clock the left rod started to have a few beeps, but this one was more consistent, so I thought I'd go and check thinking, oh, I've got a tension or something. And as I stood over the left rod looking, the right rod ran into action. And as I picked that one up, the left one ran into action. Only short bursts, weren't convinced it was big or even if there was carp. Won't lay him up. When he come over, by the time we got the rods in, there was just full of weed. And the left and right rod had gone over each other somehow, and the middle rod was fine. Bit of a balmy night. You had a drop back, didn't you?
I've been done on my middle rod. I had a drop back, and when I've reeled it in, it's ejected the lead. It's took me into the weed because that was a clear area. But I've brought weed in and I've dropped the lead, so I've been done on that. but it's been a tricky session.
No, it's not an easy water by any means. I've been doing a lot more reading up on it, and if you get a few fish on it, you've done well. Yeah, I think going into that next session now, I think it's about 120 pound behind.
We've got a 120 pound lead, and I think the biggest fish 27 pound 8. So that's achievable.
Beatable,
That's very beatable at Monument 1.
Yeah, big fish is still up for grabs by any means, and I'm going to work. You make sure you watch the next episode. Pete at Monument 1 mopping up.
The great comeback.
The comeback is coming.
I can't see it happening 120 pound. But stranger things have happened.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll be reeling in the rods soon, and we'll catch you on the next session. But remember, if you're liking the videos, remember to follow, like, subscribe, and see who wins the Gemini Carp League.